Hello. So, welcome to Wild Audio. It's me, Jonty, your host. Today, we're interviewing a very exciting Brighton-based band by the name of Bighead Tea Drinkers. Very exciting. Got two of the members here today. Sadly, the rest can't join us. But yeah, just get a little interview going to know about this band, these two guys specifically. So, yeah, I guess taking it away, whichever one of you want to answer this. Tell us just a bit about kind of like the past, present of the band, really.
I'll let you take this one.
All right.
You get it first.
We've been doing this a long time, me and Fred. We sort of met in school, as most people do in secondary school, and where we're from, you know, it's just a small village in Essex, and we sort of bonded over the fact that we both liked old music at the time. It was when we were both sort of getting into music. And naturally, we just wanted to be in a band. Yeah. And that's how it started. And we've brought it a very long way since then, you know, from Essex to Brighton. And we've really sort of learned everything that we've done through this band. You know, when we started, we knew nothing. But it's always sort of been, I've been the guy with, like, you know, the studio, Fred writes the songs. And that's kind of still what it is today, but sort of we're just doing it on a bigger scale now. Yeah? Anything to add?
As for the present, we have got an EP. It's dropping tonight, but by the time this comes out,
Following week,
it will be out there. We've been playing the songs on that EP for about a year now, so it's great to finally get them out there on Spotify. And everywhere else. But yeah, really proud of the way it sounds as a whole. And as for the future, we're sort of taking our time with releasing music at the moment. We want to sort of think about where we're going to go after this, because we always want to evolve with every release. That's one thing we've always done. Like, the quality's always improved, and personally I think the songwriting's always improved. So it's we're sort of just gonna take time, play shows, gather, like, write new stuff, see how people think of it, and then get to releasing it in the summer, hopefully.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it sounds cool that you guys are kind of still keeping out authenticity as you go on and kind of get bigger. But I guess following that, talking about like the past and present, with your kind of how you previously made songs to now and how they sound, how would you say kind of your sounds changed over time, really?
Well, we've gotten older, as people do, but and you can hear that in the music. Like, when me and Marshall first started, it was more or less punk music, because the way we saw it was that it was only two of us, because where we're from, if people did know instruments, they didn't want to be associated with us. So it was one of them things. So it was like we felt we had no choice but to do punk music, and it was great at the time. We were very immature as our releases said.
You know, it was like, when we first started, we were very influenced by the bands that we were listening to, as you know, sort of most bands are. So we started out, we really liked Soft Play back when they were called Slaves, and they were one of the first bands we sort of covered, and we liked the fact that they didn't take themselves too seriously. So then, you know, for a bit, that was what we were doing, punk music, and then it kind of evolved a little bit, and then there was a few more inspirations coming in, and we got serious with it. But our downfall was that the people that we were doing it with, you know, a long time ago, they weren't as serious as we were. And but our sound is one of them things that it does change a lot, and it has changed a lot, but I still don't think we've found our sound. We're still finding it. So the next release is, who knows? I've got a vision in my head of how it could sound, but you never really know till you record it. You know.
I think that's sort of the beauty of it as well, because we've got songs written and we're like really excited about them. We've been playing them live for the last couple months, and people seem to really like them, but we haven't even recorded demos of them, and I don't think we really want to, because we sort of want that sort of factor of, we go in the studio, get it recorded, and then we'll see from there, like, add stuff, or even if we just don't think it's a good enough song.
Yeah.
You know, we might realise that it might sound good live, but in the studio, we might not get it right. And it's sort of that approach keeps it exciting for all of us. Like, we're young, we've got time. We really just need to, is it hone or home our craft? If it's hone, hone. We need to hone our craft.
Yeah, as we evolve, we sort of, because we got into different bands at different times, that really influenced us. And we got into Catfish and the Bottlemen, and that, I'd say, of all the bands that have really inspired us as well as influenced us, I think probably they're the biggest, because the way they do live music is something we've always sort of aspired to be. It's like when you listen to their songs, you picture it in a live setting. They sound like they're live because they put so much emphasis on the live show. And that's what we try to do. And hopefully when we record these next load of songs, that it can sort of be backed up by how we play them live, because we have been playing, you know, the songs that are on the EP that's coming out, we've been playing them for so long that they're so different to when they started. But yeah, we love Catfish, and the way that they sort of, they're so big live. That's something that we've always wanted, is to just be a really big sounding band, you know? Exactly.
What would you say, like, talking about, I think you've briefly mentioned about your writing processes, but what's, like, would you say kind of is a unique writing approach that you have, like, within the band? Something that's more, I mean, I'm not saying, like, kind of really, really unique, but something that's not so conventional in a sense, maybe.
Well, yeah, something we pride ourselves on is that it's a completely, like, collaborative process. Like, there's no, like, I wouldn't say there's a leader in terms of the songwriting thing. We all sort of pitch ideas, and we're very honest with each other. Like, there's no, like, favourites. There's no sort of masking the truth in it. Like, if we think something don't work, we'll tell each other straight up. There's no tiptoeing around it. But yeah, so everything you hear from us, each member has got a contribution to it. So like, whether it's a guitar line or the structure or even the lyrics, like I predominantly do lyrics myself, but we might be in the studio and I might change the phrasing slightly, or just the wording of it, and then Marshall will be like, Fred, cut that out, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, can you think of anything?
Yeah, well, the way it's kind of always been is that I can contribute to the writing process, but not as much as I can contribute to the recording process. So when it comes time to getting in the studio, I love it because
You're in your element there.
yeah, I've got my chance to sit at the chair behind the console and have my impact on the writing at that point. But yeah, it all started with sort of us just recording our songs sort of in whatever studio I've had. I mean, I've had a studio in my conservatory, and then it was the garage. Now it's my bedroom, you know, and it's yeah, that's sort of how we do it. Usually it starts with Fred, but Kian also, he's really good at creating demos.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the writing process for us is something we really do try and keep authentic. Like, if we have an idea and then someone says, "Oh, that sounds a bit like something else," we're kind of like, "Oh, right, well, let's figure something else out," because, you know, we don't want to step on anyone's toes, sort of, because we want our songs, predominantly, we're just trying to release singles. So we don't want to make a song and then release it and then someone says, "Oh, that sounds a bit like," you know, because we're trying to do something a bit different. So definitely.
Yeah, I think that's quite a big thing. I don't know if it's weird, because I feel like a lot of people do that with music, where it's like, "Oh, you sound like this thing," which I think sometimes can be a compliment, but then I think it's nicer when someone kind of says like, "Oh, it sounds like this mood," or kind of, "Oh, it reminds me of this artist, it sounds like that." I think it can be a bit like, "Oh, okay," because I think it's so important to strive to find that uniqueness, but then it's like, where do the lines blur with that, really? Yeah. But anyway, I guess, so kind of following up from that, something I like to ask everyone is the current state of the music industry, with it being like people making really good music, but sometimes it's quite frankly more musicians with money getting through the door. There's a lot of words thrown around: industry plant, now nepotism, nepo babies, all this kind of stuff. As a band, and maybe even independently, does this whole kind of world of music now, compared to like obviously back in the day, does it kind of affect you in some way, would you say, and as a band?
I think it only sort of fuels us more, especially you look at like there is a lot of nepotism in music. I don't like we wouldn't want to like name names or anything like that. That's too unfair. But yeah, get a list out. But yeah, there is a lot. If you look at bands, whether they could be coming from rich parents or famous parents or anything like that, and that's what the majority of guitar music is at the moment. But it only fuels us more, because if we, well, got to be confident, but when we sort of achieve that sort of level, like we'll be able to say, well, we didn't get any of that. We haven't had the privilege of like hefty financial backing or anything like that. But as for like industry plant, like I was saying to you earlier, when I was like, I think that term has sort of lost its definition. I think a lot of people have forgotten what that actually means, because it's like a new band that I really love at the moment is Last Dinner Party, and they get a lot of stick for being industry plants, but I don't think they wanted to be an industry plant. They don't choose to be an industry plant. They're selected because they are the dog's bollocks. You know, it's just, they're a great band. Like, they're playing Coachella. I think they got a #1 album.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that album's great. That's like the best album of like last 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, I think especially out of the UK, like something that's kind of, it has got that older sound to it. It's
Yeah.
so refreshing.
Yeah, it's new, innit? It's so fresh, and like I think I was trying to explain them to my dad the other day, because I think they were on like BBC News or something like that, and I know my dad would love them. And I said to him, it was like if Kate Bush fronted an indie band, and my dad was like, I'm sold. He loves Kate Bush, so yeah. What do you think, Marshallini?
Yeah, there's a lot of nepotism in there, but at the end of the day, when you look at the big examples of sort of nepotism, they've got the songs and they're great bands, and that's all that really matters. But looking at us, we're sort of four individuals that haven't come from any sort of background of money at all. So yeah, it just means we have to sort of work harder. But you have to, you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. So, but yeah, the state of the music industry at the moment, I don't think it's in the best place. I mean, it could be a lot worse, but we are seeing some good, you know, sort of bands coming up, like Last Dinner Party, of course, Wonder Horse. Yeah, I mean, they're all that's on my TikTok feed at the moment, and they're actually really exciting. And what I love about them is I haven't seen any of the sort of, you know, they're not doing the guess the drummer on TikTok, you know, sort of thing. There's kind of this mysterious aura around them, and I love that. And I wish a lot more bands would sort of come up like that, sort of more naturally, without having to go through the whole, like, you know, doing the guess the drummer TikToks, and but that's where everyone has to start, you know. But yeah, I love Wonder Horse. They're great. The Last Dinner Party are great. Who else do we like that's coming up at the minute?
I'm trying to think.
Overpass.
Yeah, they're great.
We've met them a couple times, and yeah, they're really nice, and they're good as well, because we have always looked up to them for inspiration. Seeing how they've sort of come up and doing the kind of music that we do, seeing that there are levels above that we can go to realistically is great, and I think they're definitely doing really well at the minute.
Got anything else to say? That was a long pause.
There you go, mate.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I do agree. I think like releasing music myself, there's like you saying about the TikTok thing. There's this massive kind of. I think I was saying to Fred about it earlier. It's the whole not trying to oversell yourself, but also being present with social media. I think it's such a difficult balance because it is kind of like, oh, do this video, but like when I'm personally, if I'm looking for artists, maybe to come on this show and stuff, I think I like the ones who they're trying, but they're not doing these videos where they're kind of. I don't know how to say, they're kind of like not defacing themselves, but it's very like you don't almost want to check their music out because you're like, how good can it be in the wall of sound that there is? And I think it is bliss in the world of the you now can release music so easily. Like I think that's so cool that like before people would not make music. You know, you get loads of people's parents who are like, oh yeah, I wanted to be in a band, do music, but I couldn't do it, so now I do a 5-9 office job or something. You know, it's kind of like it's like that, but I think I do agree the artists that do shine, it seems recently, are the ones who get it right and get that balance of kind of being present, but you want to learn more because they're not doing these videos and they've kind of got the visuals down and stuff, and it seems like it's more like either music videos, which I think is such an important thing, which I've seen you guys have done. I think that's another thing I think is really cool, is putting visuals to music just puts you that further forward. But yeah, okay, cool. So I guess kind of going away from that now, that's kind of the music segment. I always like to do this bit. My room, sometimes when people come in, some things have been taken down actually, but there's a lot of stuff everywhere. I like collecting a lot of stuff, a bit of a hoarder. Is there like anything you guys like collect? It could be the most random stuff, honestly. It's just an interesting little topic.
So yeah, it is. I don't think it's too random. Might be a bit boring, but I like to collect beer mats. But I'll go to like a random pub in the middle of nowhere, and if they've got a nice beer mat, I'll take that. But my brother went to Europe and like he went to I think Turkey with his mates, and they were in this pub and they had the nicest ones ever, and he took about like 40 back for me, and I was like, "Thank you, you're the best brother in the world." He was like, he just stole them all. He was like, they were great. So yeah, fascinating story that. Beer mats.
We like football. Fred supports Arsenal, I support Chelsea. So we've always sort of been collecting, old football shirts. We even made our own football shirt. We have connections with a sort of sportswear brand, and they made us some shirts, and we wear them around the house, and yeah, they're quite cool. They look like an old, if anyone knows, an old Italian, Florentina. It's like purple, but they've always had like really nice looking shirts, and that's the kind of style that we wanted.
We actually played in them, didn't we?
Yeah, we played like a tournament.
The Bighead Tea Drinkers football team.
Yeah. But I've got so many. It's like an easy present for my girlfriend to get me. It's just an old Chelsea top, but I love it because it's very fashionable at the minute.
Yeah, it's good to be able to collect stuff as well. Yeah, it's like a nice little thing to have if you've got. Like some of the stuff around here, I'm loving it. Like all this decorations. You decorate your room well. I've got no decoration in my house. It's.
I mean, there's weirdness amongst it. I mean, I've said like a previous interview, actually scared the person I was interviewing. Sorry, Sam. With like the clowns I collect, that's a weird little thing. Clowns. Yeah, porcelain clowns. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's that guy down there who's kind of lurking. I don't. Judge me all you want. I don't know why, but it's one of those things where it's just like, why not? I mean, but yeah, no. I think collecting is just a fun thing. I think it's just in human nature. I think to like collect something, that kind of gives you that serotonin. But
There's a lot of trinkets.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trinkets around here.
He loves a trinket.
I'm a bit of a goblin for a trinket, to be honest. There's a lot of trinkets in Brighton as well.
It is so much.
Sort of just shiny goblets and stuff. I'm very much into that.
Various doolallys, I think they call
exactly.
it.
Bits and bobs, if you will.
Exactly. I guess another thing quickly. Before we do carry on the section, I completely forgot actually in the music bit. We can play a snippet of one of your guys' songs off the the EP that will be out by now. Do you want to choose one that we can play off of that?
Wait, should we try and guess the same one? Should we try and telepathically call the same one? 3, 2, 1. Why don't I care? Oh, which one? Which one should we do? New one? One that's coming out today? Why don't I care? It's coming out today.
Yeah, that's Why Don't I Care by Bighead Tea Drinkers. So we'll be back in a second. So we're back. So that was Why Don't I Care by Bighead Tea Drinkers. Very cool little snippet. Check out their EP, which is out now. Very, very cool. But yeah, so getting back into it, for that little kind of section that kind of interrupted it. But on top of collecting things, is there like hobbies you guys have picked up? I mean, we've had people before about knitting, running, literally just simple stuff, just for people to kind of get to know you, really.
You go.
Yeah, I like skateboarding. I've recently got back into it. I've sort of done it all my life, but just sort of on and off. And yeah, it's a great place to be a skateboarder in Brighton, especially. Yeah, like back in the day, I tried to get him into it, but he's sort of
Too stiff.
very
Just
stiff.
lanky and just like my legs are too long and too slow.
Yeah, I like skateboarding. What else do we do? Not too much else. I mean, the music is the big thing for us. I guess if you can call that a hobby, it's sort of a lifestyle at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, football, like I said. We don't watch as much football as we used to after coming here. Like,
Don't have a telly, so
yeah, I mean, don't have a TV license.
don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
We do have a TV license.
That we pay our TV license, BBC.
Okay, cool. Okay, I guess after that then. So favorite film, TV shows. I mean, I've got like film things up the wall there. I've got loads of DVDs. Love a good film. So many good ones out. Past couple of years, watched Dune Part 2 the other day. That was pretty sick.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that yet.
No, very, very good. Recommend it. But yeah, what's your kind of guys' either favorite film or TV show or just both? Just let us know quickly.
Film, it's an easy one for me. It's The Shining. I'm a massive fan of Kubrick. I'd like to say that he influences me musically because I find the music in his films so strange, and I like all that. It don't really influence. I guess the snippet you heard, the opening to that is a little bit Kubrick-esque. It's a lot of noise, and I never really thought that until now, but it does sound that. Yeah, all his films are great. I'm trying to watch them all at the moment. I'm trying to watch all his films, and I think I'm about like 80% of the way through. TV show, I don't know about. It could be Breaking Bad. Could be. We both watched this new Netflix show called, I always forget the name.
Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
It's just
You
come out.
talk about that because you love that.
Really good. Yeah, that was a really good show, and it was refreshing for it to like not be too long. You know what I mean? Like the episodes are actually, you could watch like 3 or 4 and it wouldn't take too much time. So that was quite good. Yeah, I like. I'm not really a big film guy, but I like a lot of true crime stuff. You know, I'm really into, you know, all the true crime docs that come out on Netflix, like the 3-part series. As soon as they come out, I'm on it. But yeah, I wish I could have like a sort of pretentious film opinion, but I don't really. I like comedies quite a lot. The Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, World's End, and Hot Fuzz, like they were like the films I sort of loved as a kid. I probably shouldn't have been watching them as a kid, but yeah, like they're sort of my big ones.
Yeah, okay, cool. I guess following on from that, if you could score a soundtrack from a TV show or a film, what would that be? It could be anything. We've had again. I think we've had people say again like Dune. We've had people say what's the other one, like a spaghetti western type thing. Just go anything, even if it's not in what you make now with the band. Just what was something even personally or as a band you'd want to score?
I think it's not even something that exists at the moment, but it's like like Train Spotting and that, and how like that was such a big sort of cultural sort of landmark of the 90s. I think if we were able to like soundtrack a film that was so like of the time, and get on that, because like we were watching Train Spotting 1 and 2. We sort of binged both films I think last week. Yeah, that's like one of my favourite films, and but every song was a banger. Just 90s sort of Britpop, like I love that sort of stuff, and it was perfect for the film, and it was like of the time, like that was the music that was like great at the time. It was like I see the poster there, but like Saltburn, like the soundtrack for that was great, and that was like of the time, so like something like that, like something set in that moment, and if it was like a cultural effect on people, I'd love to do that sort of thing. So basically just any sort of film, but yeah.
I wish I'd say to her, but I don't.
Honestly,
He's not a film guy.
yeah, that's all good. I guess I can see like that kind of. There's very some good nostalgia there with those kind of tracks. I think they're very timeless, and that would be very, very cool. But okay, I guess kind of coming to the end now with last two questions. Sadly, it's been really cool having you guys. But dream collab is one. You've mentioned some artists or some bands. What would your dream collab with Bighead Tea Drinkers be?
Trying to think of something that would work. Because ideally I'd say like Alex Turner, but Alex Turner on a Bighead Tea Drinkers track, I'm not sure how that would go. But like I've always like had a sort of like collaboration is something I'm really interested in, because I sort of like thrive off that. It's like I struggle to do it independently because I'm not the most skilled guitarist or anything like that. I struggle to write guitar parts, so like being in a band is perfect for me. And the thought of welcoming someone else on a song, I like really appeals to me. So it was like I've been thinking recently, just like randomly, of like if like we did something where we just got someone from like another band that was also doing quite well on a track, because like some of my favourite songs are collaborations. It's like I'm listening a lot at the moment to like Last Shadow Puppets, which is Alex Turner and Miles Kane, and then like he collaborates with Queens of Stone Age and stuff like that. It's that sort of thing that really like appeals to me. But yeah,
we met the guys from Soft Play in August at like their first gig back, and they're just such nice guys. And thinking back to they collabed with Gorillaz and Slow Tie on the same song. Yeah, and I'd just love to work with them because they just seem like such nice guys, and I just want to be mates with them, really. I mean, the music, that's fine. I don't mind, but I just want to like talk to them.
he just wants a pint.
Yeah, I just want to have a pint with them and a lot of bands, really.
Yeah. But definitely that sort of thing, just collaborating. Gorillaz would be a good one, because that could take us into a realm we've never looked into before. Damon Albarn, he's a genius, but collaboration is something we haven't really. Our recording process is exclusive to us at the moment, because we've sort of got to home our sound first, I feel, before we think about collaborating. But yeah, definitely in the future we'll collaborate with someone, I'm sure of it,
Okay, cool. Well, just coming to the last question now. Just kind of let us know upcoming things to promote. Obviously, the EP and kind of future stuff. But it's really cool having you guys. But yeah, I guess just kind of sum up what you've got coming now, really.
So we have got a Brighton headline on May the 1st in the Prince Albert. It's going to be party of the year. I think the Daily Mail said that. It's going to be big. The set's going to be massive. We're playing the EP in full, and then our many greatest hits after. But it should be a great night of music. We've got some great support bands, Party in the Valley and Off the Grid. and they are both really good, like local Brighton bands. Hopefully, going to sell it out. Should be a big old shindig, I think they call it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's not sure when this will come out, but that's May 1st, and yeah. So in the summer, we're just sort of gonna chill out a bit, figure out what we're doing, and then we'll get to releasing songs hopefully by the end of summer. So yeah, expect more songs from us going into sort of summer and then the end of next year, and then hopefully we can get back out and do some more shows up and down the country. Like we played in Birmingham a few weeks ago, and that's the furthest up north I've really ever been, to be honest. And we all really enjoyed it. It was great. So we'd love to go back up there and get to Manchester, because we've never played there, and that's sort of where everybody's telling us to play. So hopefully a tour. We'd love to get out and play a tour. But yeah, so after we get some new music out, then hopefully that's on the cards.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Okay, well, very cool. Well, I've been your host, Jonty, and this has been Barbed Audio, and we've been interviewing Fred and Marshall from Bighead Tea Drinkers. Very, very cool band. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview today, and hopefully we'll get you guys on again in future when there's many more tracks out and more live shows. Even maybe catch you at a live show and do an interview there. That'd be very cool.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and stay tuned till next time.